Hey, caught me here working on some lights. Welcome back once again to Jack's Tech Corner. I'm your host Jack, and this video, I thought I would invite you into my studio once again. And today we're going to look at light modifiers. Now, there's probably as many light modifiers out there, or what there are lights. I've even seen some light modifiers homemade, but today we're going to stick more to the light modifiers that are store purchased, and we're going to go from pretty much the least expensive to the most expensive I have. And I don't have a lot of light modifiers, but I have a few. And then what I thought I would do is take some pictures in between after setting the light modifier up and show you exactly how the light is affecting the portrait. So that's where I thought we would go ahead and start. And what we're going to be using today is our studio strobe. And I know a lot of you out there may not have these, but this is just the easiest way I can show you my particular light modifiers, because I don't have a soft box, and we'll get into that for a minute, for my speed light just yet. That is on my very short list to purchase. So I'm going to use my studio strobe here. And I'm going to show you these lights in the order from cheapest to the most expensive, and we'll show you how they work. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first light modifier that I want to share with you is just a simple white umbrella. This is the lowest cost light modifier you can purchase, and I have used these out in the field also with my speed light, as you've seen in my strobist video a while back. Not recently, because we had a lot of trouble with wind. This outside and wind, not a good combination. But in the studio, you don't have that much trouble. And I was reading somewhere that photographers are the only ones that are allowed to open up umbrellas in the house without having to worry about bad luck. So it opens up. As you can see basically through it, or light can travel through it. So the way this works as a light modifier, it can either be, light can be bounced into it to make a nice wide pattern, or the light can be shot through the umbrella to soften it, much like a softbox, but a lot cheaper. But still, it's a very wide light, and I'll show you the difference in the shots with the softbox and the wider lights. So to put this on our strobe here, and I'm going to raise the strobe up a little bit to make sure you can see it okay. And folks, these strobes here, you probably seen when I bought these a while back. They are inexpensive strobes. And the whole set's like $300. You get 3 strobes and umbrellas and all kinds of stuff. So it's really worth it. What we're going to do first with the first couple of test shots is we are going to shoot into the umbrella. And the way to test your umbrella, and you probably won't be able to see this on camera, is when you turn your umbrella up when you're shooting into it, like this as a light modifier. You turn your light on. When you open this up, you should not see any light casting on the ceiling. If you do, just bring it back until there's no light on the ceiling. Because what you're doing then is you're throwing contaminated light into your photo. You don't want to do that. So you want to tighten it up, and now we're ready to go ahead and shoot right into this and actually bring the light out over. Okay, just like that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually switch over here with this same camera I'm using to video this, and we're going to switch over now, and I'm going to take some test shots with my single strobe with this single umbrella facing this way, and I'll show you exactly what those shots look like now. And then when I come back, we're going to flip it around, and I'll show you how to shoot through it and what the difference that makes. So let's go ahead and get a couple test shots. The next thing you're going to see here is we turn the umbrella around, and now we're shooting through the umbrella. That's shooting through it. You can see this. And what that does basically is it softens the light down a little bit. Okay. Now, what it also does, and people don't realize this, when you have the umbrella facing this way, and your subject is over here, you have that nice wide source. But what people don't realize, what happens is, and please remember this when you're doing this, is it's so easy to not notice. When you take this and you flip it around this way, all of a sudden your light source becomes closer to your subject. So you either have to lower your power down a little bit on your strobe, or you can actually raise your aperture up by a couple stops. Now remember, with aperture, every stop, every f-stop is one stop of light. So you'll see one stop of difference with every aperture setting, with every increased number. So there we go. Remember, aperture is the bigger circle, the bigger lens opening, basically. And the higher the number goes, the smaller the hole gets. So we're trying to capture less light. Okay, so let's take a couple quick shots that way, and we'll come back with our next light modifier. Okay folks, our next light modifier is another umbrella, but this umbrella is black on the outside, and it doesn't allow you to shoot through it. But what it does allow you to do, it allows you to get a much brighter light source because it has a reflective inside. So the white kind of hits it and you get some reflective, but you're going to get a lot of reflective light off of this. So again, you might want to lower your f-stop down. You might also want to make sure your strobe power, most time on my strobes I use at low power. And that's a couple of things, and basically is why that is. One, I don't need a whole lot of light in my small studio setting. If you do, I mean, we have the power. These are 300 watt lights, so we have plenty of power if we need more power. But the low setting also allows it to recycle very quickly, so you're shooting very, very rapidly. So to put this modifier on again, because in your umbrella holder, as soon as you get to turn your light on, and again, this one gets turned up. And we'll try to turn this up a little bit. And again, you don't want any light hitting the ceiling from your umbrella. So pull it back a little bit, tighten it down. And the way this works is it's going to modify it by shooting the light out. So you get a big wide pattern. We're going to take a couple shots with this light modifier and show you how that looks. The next light modifier we're going to go ahead and talk about now is the crown jewel of light modifiers, I guess. If you talk to photographers, that's what most of them say. You have to have a lot of nerves of steel when you buy these things, especially if you buy one like this. I'm going to show you why. But this is a soft box. This is how they come. This also came with the kit with the strobes. So if you're looking for a nice kit with a lot of accessories, this newer kit, I bought it from Amazon. You've probably seen the unboxing video. It's worth it because it has a lot of startup gear that you're going to be using. Now the reason I said you have to be strong at heart is because you got to put a softbox together, and not all of them really like to act properly when you're trying to do this. This is called a speed ring. This goes right on here on your lights. Of course, if you open it up a little bit. And all these are just little thumb screws, basically is all that is. They just get loosened up. Then they just slide right on here. Yeah, once you get them loosened up enough. I'll show you that again in a minute when we go to put this thing together here. Okay, maybe you need to take them all the way back in there. Make sure they're all the way back in the bottom there. And it just slides right on there, so that's how that goes on. It's called a speed ring. The next part of our softbox that we have to worry about is these. I call these the pain in the butt rods. Okay, that's just the only way I can explain it to you, the pain in the butt rods. Because these things are either going to be really cooperative to you, or they're going to be really, really hard to get your softbox built, because these don't bend too much. And they can't, because the softbox has to be kind of firm, right, when it opens up. Next item is the softbox. Right here is the actual softbox itself. And it's the reflective material inside, like that umbrella was. And in these, the light actually gets pushed around in here, and then the softbox, or the diffusers on the outside with Velcro, is the white piece, and then you can shoot your strobe through this and actually have a nice focused light. Where the umbrella pushes it more around the room, this is more of a focused light based on the size of the softbox. So we're going to attempt to put this together. There is one other piece here I'll show you. This is the actual diffuser itself, the white piece. And you've seen softboxes before. If you go to B&H Photo Video or other places, Amazon, you'll see what a softbox looks like. But you're going to see one live here in just a minute. And I hope we can get this together before I run out of footage here. Now, on your softbox itself, I don't know if you can see this or not, there are two sides. Oops. There are two sides with Velcro like this. Those are your last two sides. Your first two sides you want to use are the sewn in sides. If you can see that. The sewn in sides. Hopefully this video turns out okay. So you put your speed ring in, like so. Find a nice place for your rods to sit for right now. Put your speed ring in. This one actually has kind of, I don't know what I'd call this back part here, like cheater Velcro, where I can put this together in the back. And it makes it a little easier because it gives you a little room to wiggle in the back. I put one of these together and it was so tight that we actually ripped one of the Velcros out of it. So you have to be careful when you put them together. And you know, you gotta realize too, this is a brand new softbox. I mean, I haven't used this one yet in the studio. I've used my other one, but not this one. And we're gonna put this in here, kind of like that. Get your screws through there. Turn it over. Then you line your rods up with where the Velcros are. I'm going to put it on the floor here. You may not be able to see this. We'll show you the finished product. So there is our soft box. You see the speed ring is out on the back, so we can put the screws on. And the soft box itself. So that's the soft box. What I like to do now is I like to mount it before I put my diffuser panel on. So I'm going to go ahead and mount it on here now. Make sure your light is tight so it doesn't fall down. Make sure your soft box is squared up, and then just turn in your thumb screws. Holding it snugly to, you don't have to make these real tight, folks. You don't got to make these so tight that like they break all your plastic off in there. You just want to make it tight enough where it's snug and it doesn't want to fall off your light itself. So now you can see the light on there. And I've seen guys use these without the panels. You see it's pretty bright in there. if we test fire it, you can see how bright that is. So it's pretty doggone bright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn this off. And we're going to go ahead and put our diffusing panel on. And these are fairly easy because it's just plastic on there. So it's pretty easy to do. And they also come with, I'll just show you this because you're probably going to get one of these with yours. They also come with one of these too, and this is just known as a baffle. It's just known as a baffle. It clips inside if you want to use it. That's what it's for. And what it does, it actually tones the light down even a little bit more. This actually just clips right into these little things here. Sometimes they're Velcro. There's just little straps in here these things hook into. And they would just clip right in there. Some guys say don't use them. Sometimes I do. It all depends how much light you have. We're not going to take the time to put that in right now. Again, these are just Velcroed. They just Velcro it on there and they pull across. They go on very easily. It's not a big deal here. It is squared up with the box. Just pull that up and just Velcro that in. So now you see we have that big, nice light source. It's very directional. You can see how much it's toned down. If you test fire it now, you get a nice directional pattern now, is what that is. So we're going to go ahead and set this one up here on the side now, take a couple test shots, and we'll get that going. So we're going to go ahead and grab a couple test shots with this light, and you'll see how those how it actually modifies. Well folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little video on light modifiers and how you can take that light, even with one strobe, that's all we were shooting with this morning here, even with one strobe light, and we are able to modify that light in a ton of different ways to make it, you know, decent. Like if you have an umbrella and you want to capture a wide group, you can use that umbrella and reflect it out over a wide group of people, or even two. Softboxes, the small softbox I showed you is mainly meant for one person. I have a larger softbox meant for two that I also use for portrait shots. So there's a lot of different things you can do. We've also talked in our shows in the past, if you've caught any of our live shows, we've also talked about flash modifiers. This is just simply a little piece of plastic here. I'll show you that real quick. And it simply goes on your speed light. And this is just a different kind of modifier. Right, instead of taking that light and shining it directly in somebody's eyes, we can actually take this light, because you don't want to shine it like in people's eyes like this. We can take this light and put that on and actually disperse the light and modify it. They make all kind of attachments for your speed light also. But don't be too tricked. I know some folks out there have purchased the little soft boxes for these, and those are nice to kind of, what those are meant to do is kind of disperse the light a little bit, kind of break the light up and make a little bit wider pattern. But for any true softbox work, you're going to have to spend the money. And like I said, I'm looking for one now for my strobe on a light stand for about $150. So that's on my short list to purchase. Actually, extra modifiers that you get with your lighting kit, if you buy this particular kit I bought, you do get what's called a honeycomb. It's okay, but it really didn't have a whole lot of effect for me. So I don't know if you'd use it or not, but it is in there. What I do seem to use more than not with my backdrop here is this barn door. And I often thought when before I got these, like, what would you ever use a barn door for? Well, I tell you what, if you want to take your light and modify it so you're shooting a backdrop, you just want to shoot up and nothing coming below the person, you can modify it that way. It'll black out the bottom and shoot the top, so it's really, really a neat little gadget. And again, you can see it hooks just with the speed ring also on the back. So you do kind of want to fold it up correctly so it looks nice and lays right in your boxes. And they also get sent, I didn't get them out, but they also sent some colored gels, which can be used naturally to throw color. So with the 3 different lights, you have a lot of different possibilities here. And you know, that's not the only light you can use. But strobes will give you a different type of feel for your photography for sure. More than I started out with stationary lights, just static lighting. And that's okay, but you don't get the same feel as you get with strobes. It's a different style of light because it's a constant light. So, and with the strobes, as you've seen, you can also turn on the modeling light and use a constant light if you wish. You can shut the strobe off and just use this as a constant modeling light. So there you have it. So again, folks, thank you very much for watching this episode of Jack's Tech Corner. Don't forget to check out my website, jackstechcorner.com. You can find some great video tutorials there on how to use Photoshop Elements to do your photo editing, as well as a lot of tips and tricks through that website. And if nothing else, if you just want to help out and help me to continue making these videos even better for you as you learn and progress, there's actually a donation button. So a lot of people enjoy just to donate. Every donation helps the show, folks, so I do appreciate them. So until next time, as always, keep those shutters clicking, keep the others editing, and I'll see you back here for another Jack's Tech Corner very, very soon. Bye for now.